Peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrate, you know what I'm saying? Not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Right now, I'm in my secret lair, the Justice League headquarters, you know, undisclosed location. Fear and God cannot occupy the same space. I'm gonna run it again. Fear and God cannot occupy the same space. Hey, Carl Ray, man, well, God created everything, so even fearful things, God a part of that, huh? Well, of course, God is, everything in essence, and is a part of everything. But as far as dwelling, you know, and really having its, God presence being felt, you know what I'm saying? If God presence is in the building, then it's no fear, You think about angels and all divine heavenly beings, in the likeness of God, no fear, Even the story from Horus down to Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Is fearlessness, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with trying to, save mankind, so to speak. But that, they had God dwelling in their temple. So, they were fearless, Matter of fact, it had me thinking about too, like how the fear with I watched the new Superman Batman movie, and how Superman did, like he was nice the whole time, and then everybody just with that fear speculating, well, what if he do this? What if he do that? So it's creating a conflict. Now a conflict being started with Superman off of somebody else's fear, You should watch. There's a new movie with him and spoiler alert, Wonder Woman in it too, But, everybody fearing Superman before he could even do something. I say fearing everything would be copacetic, everything would be good, But all the what ifs, instead of like if a what if handle it, then handle it when it comes, and don't have to be preventive and starting some type of fight or some type of situation, off of fear. It's like I say, fear and God cannot occupy the same space. There's another thing, like say for instance, like with some people, and some people don't realize, that they don't have nothing to fear. Like, well, God trying to, show them, like, man, you don't need all these weapons, things of this nature, you know what I'm saying? Because some people live most of their lives free of danger, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing, no close calls, no nothing. And what's funny, they live free of danger. Their cousins are free of danger. Their second cousin, third cousin, everybody, like, the majority of people they know and come across in their life, except for the one or two tragedies that you catch on the news or maybe possibly in your family or something, you know what I'm saying? But that's a small amount. But for the most part, people have, most of us, unless we're putting ourselves in danger, we have no reasons to fear anything. But some people still, have that preventive fear, like, well, man, what if, you know what I'm saying? And now, how we always say, your mind could be your worst enemy. You are your worst enemy. So you creating these cages, these what ifs, you know what I'm saying, out of fear, Now you're creating conflict with yourself that's going to possibly lead into conflict with somebody else, And God is not about conflict, That's why I would say fear and God cannot occupy the same space. Y'all see me, I got papers now, because sometimes I go on a little, I had that bad segue. I'm about to do it right now. Let me watch myself. And then even with, say for instance, with, you could say, oh, well, what about the powerful entities off of movies and, and stories and all this about, how powerful, like, the dark side on Star Wars, like, oh yeah, they powerful and this and that, but even they have fear, you know what I'm saying, built in them. So that's why ultimately, the evil, the negative, the fear could never overcome, the unconditional love, and the divinity. Because when you look at it, yeah, they got power, but they never could eclipse. Or yeah, they might win a little battle or two, but they never could eclipse that power of unconditional love, that divinity, that God-like power. Because they in a fearful mode, and you wondering like, oh, but they powerful. They fearless. They ain't, Well, I mean, think about where the evil comes from. It could be fear of destiny, like, well, I don't want to be this, so I'm gonna try to take over the world, this and that. Fear of death, most of the evil, negative people trying to, killing, trying to find immortality or something like that, or sacrificing people because of immortality, and fear, fear of death, you know, fear of lifestyle changes, you know what I'm saying, like misery loves company, you know what I'm saying, like fear of loneliness, you know what I'm saying, fear of, being by themselves, as far as like which one, with the fear of loneliness, think about movies like with Haunted, like Insidious, or, where ghosts trying to pull you into that realm, they lonely on that realm, so they trying to pull you in, they trying to get some company, misery loves company, But in matter of fact, when you think about it, fear of destiny, fear of death, fear of lifestyle change, fear of loneliness, that all sounds kind of coincidentally like the ego, you know. That's why these movies do be telling bigger stories, all these ancient stories, that's, dealing with evil, set that lower nature, you know what I'm saying, that ego, watch the Gods of War, where they depict people, they trying to brainwash your subconscious, not putting the melanated people in movies like that, but, I still watched it anyway, and, with the message, you'll get the picture, the symbolism the same, like, that fearful person never overcome, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, that ego, too, tied to the same thing, that ego never overcomes. God always, overcome. That's why I don't need no pistol and I carry a crystal, I don't need no license to carry or nothing. I just, I'm just all out with it, But fear and God cannot occupy the same space. Matter of fact, if I didn't say this in the beginning of the video, I saw one of Dick Gregory videos, and he had said that, and it was just so profound, and I was like, man, like, that hits so hard, Because when you think about it, man, it's commonplace, man. The realness of the situation, man, anything dealing with God is going to be fearlessness, you know what I'm saying? You watch Insidious, I think it was Insidious 3, where somebody, mom or something, came and chased the ghost away because she was fearless. She knew she was vibrating on a high frequency and knew, for one, not to allow that entity to even bring it down to a lower vibration, but she knew to be fearless because she was one with God, And that's same personification that be in the movies. Same thing, like I say, it was set in the movies, your ego, ego debt, fear. So, just, down with the fear, man. Vibrate high, man. Get to that unconditional love state, Because if you had that unconditional love and you're doing others, because that's another thing, too. Right before I stop, people be scared because of their own thoughts, Oh, yeah, they nice and seem nice to everybody and, everybody around them. But, they be so fearful because they probably got thoughts in their mind be in a place where they like, man, these people might get me for what I'm thinking, So that go into a lot of stuff, too. But fear and God cannot occupy the same space. Y'all know what I mean, Matter of fact, and if you don't get me by now, because I'm not much for the back and forth, my comments, if you don't understand me, I'm sorry, you know what I mean, though. Peace. Happy now. Now is to vibrate. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Peace.